welcome back to my channel. My name is Anaya, and if you are new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you are a returning craft bestie, put a pink heart, and if you're a new craft bestie, put a yellow heart. And hey girl, I can see by today's title, I'm about to start this new thing where I do what's tea, and we're basically gonna be crocheting and reading different Reddit stories or just like tea. Like, y'all know I always say what's tea, so like what's tea. I picked out a few Reddit stories and I kind of skimmed through them. Like, I ain't fully get into them, but if y'all got some recommendations of any type of Reddit stories y'all want me to do, put it in the comments, girl. Put it in the comments and I'm gonna do it. So get y'all tea, get y'all snacks, get y'all projects. I got my my lemon water, but I got some strawberries and blueberries in it, and it's tea. So this is my tea for the day. And my whip. Currently working on this scrap yarn rug, and I added like the little tassels at the bottom. It's coming out so good. This is my project. Get your yarn, get your crochet project or your knitting project or whatever DIY you doing, girl, and come on. You got to read these Reddit stories. I'm nosy, and I low-key like hearing people business without being in the mix. So I literally just found out like about the am I the asshole topics, and I'm in love with them. Like, I just like picking a side, like yes or no, you're not. I saved a few, so let's get started. I'm gonna read them first and then I'm gonna start crocheting my whip. Am I the asshole for keeping a handmade gift from an ex while in a relationship? About 3 years ago, I was in a very short-lived 3 months relationship. I ended up breaking off the relationship and moving back to my hometown across the country. A year later, I met my current boyfriend, who I have been dating for roughly 2 years and I am very happy with. My ex-boyfriend gave me a cute present before I left, a little glass heart bottle full of colorful origami stars he had made. He told me that every star had written inside it something he loved about me. Oh, I don't know, girl. I've always had horrible self-esteem issues, so this honestly meant a lot to me. I've never opened any of the stars to read them. I like to just look at the bottle and remind myself that it is full of reasons why someone loved me. To be clear, there are no lingering feelings between me and my ex. We are still friendly with each other and keep in contact, but are not close and do not talk regularly. My fondness of the bottle has not to do with him and is purely about my own self-confidence and sentiment behind it. The reason I think I might be the asshole is because I know if I found my boyfriend kept something like this from his ex, I would be hurt. I am not a rational person, something I struggle with and have been working on, and I get upset easily. My boyfriend is a calm and rational person, and he has zero jealousy issues. Again, the bottle's importance to me has nothing to do with my ex and everything to do with reminding myself that I have value when I'm feeling down. My friend thinks I should toss it because of who it came from, but I haven't been able to bring myself to get rid of it. Am I the asshole for keeping it? Should I just get rid of it? Okay. It's a lot to unpack here. I feel like if it has nothing to do with the ex still, then she should be able to get rid of it and just create something, or ask her boyfriend or someone, you know, that she's close to make something similar. Because at this point, like, why are you, you know, like, and then you still in contact with the ex. You still in contact with her. I'm not saying y'all gotta be hating each other and stuff, but it kind of is like a little side eye. Oh, and y'all tell me how y'all feel about each story in the comments, because I want to know. Like, I wouldn't say she's an asshole, but I would say, like, girl, I feel like, yeah, the gift is handmade and it's sentimental, but I feel like it could be replaced. Basically, that's how I feel personally. For the rug, I just chained a whole bunch of chains using a 6.50 and double crochet. I also feel like because she said if the roles was reversed and her boyfriend had that, she would feel some type of way. That just goes to show you should just get rid of it. Like, even if he didn't say anything yet, get rid of it. Find something else that has sentimental value. Do your own self-love thing, or, you know, just get rid of it before we do cause an issue. Am I the asshole if I ask for a handmade gift back? I gifted a family member a handmade scarf and they were very rude about not liking it, but still kept it. I gladly have it back to wear it myself or sell it, but would it be considered rude to tell them to return it if they don't like it and will never wear it again? They also talked about cutting it and have a habit of re-gifting things to other people, which will honestly hurt me. It sounds like they being petty. Get your gift back and stop making stuff for family members if they don't, if they don't show an interest, or if they don't appreciate what you do. Stop making them a gift just because they family. They don't need nothing handmade. I'm sorry. Handmade gifts are for people that like handmade gifts. Making handmade gifts for people that don't like handmade gifts. I'm not gonna make somebody that likes luxury stuff and will only want or request luxury stuff a crochet gift just because I deem it luxury. I'm just not getting you nothing, because that's a waste of money. Get what I'm saying? So no, get your gift back. You're not the asshole. Get your gift back, girl. Call it a day, because the audacity. Girl, I'm getting mad like this me. I'm the asshole for asking my daughter to create a detailed plan for the yarn she already has before we will buy her anything else. My daughter's 16 female has taken to enjoying crochet and knitting and all that. I'm happy for her because it's a productive and creative hobby. She buys some of her own yarn and we buy the rest. The problem is she has already developed a problem hoarding, not in the clinical sense, supplies. Tons of skeins of yarn, tons of supplies, etc. Every other week she wants to go to the store to get yarn for a new project. Every time she sees something new on TikTok, she has to make it. And I get it. Consumerism is a hard habit to stay on top of, especially when you're young. Wanting to have the latest things is just par for the course. It's no different than wanting the latest Xbox game or Sims 4 expansion pack or whatever. But I'm not interested in indulging in it anymore. She has over 100 skeins, so I understand that I'm going to get a lot of comments saying that's nothing, I have X in my stash, because I know the consumerism and collecting aspect of crochet / knit is part of the hobby, and people take great pride in showing off their stash. It's my job to instill good values in my kids, and I don't want her to end up being one of those people who dies and her family becomes burdened with cleaning out 6,000 pounds moth infested yarn. And I want her to be able to commit to a project, not just hop around to what's cool this week. So when it came to Christmas list time, she had a bunch of yarn listed. I told her that we will not be buying her any more yarn until she comes up with a plan on how she's going to use what she already has. I told her to come up with a plan for 2/3 of it, and then we can reconsider. I even told her that if she wants, I can sit with her and help her. She's furiously upset and telling me that I'm controlling and I don't understand how crafting works, etc. She's really upset that she's not going to get what she asked for this Christmas. I come to ask y'all, am I the asshole? I'm gonna put myself in both of their shoes. No, I'm gonna put myself in a daughter's shoes first. Personally, when I realized I kind of had like a habit for crafting and DIYing, etc., etc., I found a way to fund those crafts. I read that she buys some of her yarn and her parents buy the rest. Nip that in the bud. Nip it in the bud for the best. Get your own money, girl. Get your own money, so you could just fund that craft on your own, and that way you can craft freely without limitations or people expecting you to rush and craft or rush and do what you gotta do. Now I definitely understand like the trends and and it's easy to say, oh, I'm gonna bake this and then never get around to it. So I understand that aspect. But like the mom said, consumerism is getting us. It is getting us. And I had to take a step back from buying yarn myself. So I definitely understand wanting to have the big yarn stash. But the more you get into the hobby, it's not about the materials you have that make you more of an expert at the craft. It's you actually mastering the craft. the excessive yarn buying, that's a whole nother hobby within itself. It needs to be studied because we have us in the shackles. It has us in the shackles in TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and none of it Pinterest, none of it makes it better for us. A mom can't put a time stamp on the daughter's creativity or when she decides to use the yarn. Now, like, I understand her sitting with her to try to come up with projects. I actually don't understand it. I actually don't, because if you're not like a crochet artist, then you're just giving suggestions, and who wants to craft based on suggestions all the time, you know? Like, today you might feel like making a sweater, and tomorrow you might feel like making a blanket. It switches up. The daughter probably just need like better budgeting skills. A budget, give her, you know, tips and stuff like that. Don't try to have like a, you know, a hold over creativity. We're kind of the asshole for stealing a pattern. I'll determine it. Hey Reddit, I, 26 female, have been crocheting for about 6 years now. I mostly do it for fun and enjoy making things for my family. Last year I was making a frog design by blank. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want nobody to come get me. If you find it on Reddit though, that's on you. And thought it would look cute if it had long legs. So I made a design with long legs and named it Leggy Frog. I was recently contacted by blank saying I stole her pattern and am claiming it as my own. I told her that I didn't copy her work and I came up with this design. I asked if she can share her work, paid pattern, so I can compare if it's the same. She did not share. She continues to harass me via DM saying I copy her work and I need to remove my free pattern. I give credit to all pattern that is not mine on my social media pages. Pattern world in crochet is such a weird world. Nothing is original when it comes to crochet. Everything we think is somewhat original or ours, or we were the first to do it, or da 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 da. Somebody has already done it before. Times out of 10 is thousands of tutorials and patterns out there. Once you start actually like looking at crochet, all of it kind of merges into one, if that makes sense. Nobody can really say anyone stole because it's already been done before. And then I feel like when it comes down to patterns, I gotta switch off yarn. Just my other yarn ball I made. I'm sorry, it's just so cute and I wanted to show y'all. I don't feel like she stole. I don't know what the pattern looked like, but I still don't feel like that was enough for you to be like, oh, you stole my pattern. It's a long leg frog. I'm pretty sure there's so many tutorials on YouTube. I don't even think she got the pattern. I think she was just inspired by, like, you know how you making something and you just come up with an idea and you be like, oh, this will make this pattern better, and you just alter it. It sounds like that's what she did. I'm not gonna say she the asshole. Honest, you can never really deem someone as stealing a pattern if they added their own flair to something that they were already making. Like, and that's why this whole pattern thief stuff is just ridiculous. Unless you have proof that they bought your pattern and copied it word from word, it's unnecessary. Y'all better get y'all some scrap yarn and make y'all something cute. Am I the asshole because I won't let my nieces use my crafting supplies even though it would be a bonding experience? I worked at a craft store through college and for a few years after, and over the years I've grown quite the collection of items. I do a mix of things like sewing, painting, knitting, etc. My sister always acted like anything anyone in the family owns is community property. Up and start using someone's things, eat their food, etc. without asking first. I've always disliked this behavior and she knows it, but ignores it. This extends to her kids, my nieces. While they're great kids, I don't really enjoy spending a lot of time with them these days. Very loud, giggle fits and yelling and dancing and singing all the time. Isn't that what kids do? Which is totally, completely, absolutely normal, and they should continue to do all of the above. So my sister has become obsessed with the idea that I'm going to pass on a lot of my crafting things to the girls and teach them all the crafts I know. I've already told her that if she wants me to teach them anything, they'll have to be a little older and more mature, and she'll need to buy the supplies. She keeps saying they can just use yours, despite me saying no, they can't, over and over again. Into a head when she sent them to me for a weekend so she could work. She told them when they got there that I was going to spend the weekend teaching them how to sew. I had to explain to two little girls who were all excited that no, we weren't going to do that. Sister and I got into a huge fight about it, and she kept calling me selfish and saying she doesn't understand what the big deal is and why I can't share with my nieces. I told her she needs to get over the idea that but it's family is valid excuse to act entitled to everyone's property. She just kept telling me I'm self-obsessed and mean. Am I the asshole? Do I owe my nieces my supplies and time and energy just because we are related? Apparently, from what I'm reading, it sounds like the little girls are young. So I could understand why she doesn't want to, use materials. I just feel like she could go about it better. Her being an adult and stuff. When I was young and my great-grandmother, she had so much craft stuff. She just bought us little cheap craft stuff to do instead of, because she had like a big craft stash. So instead of us using like the expensive stuff, we just used little cheap stuff like little not diamond painting kits. What's them little stone kits and stuff to paint and stuff. But it sounded like to me, her and her sister got something going on to where they just, like that sisterly feud type vibe. And she kind of passing that on to the kids too, because you didn't even have to say all that about the babies. They just kids. You don't have to share your craft stuff, and that's one thing. Nobody is entitled to you should not feel entitled to making family or anybody teach you how to do a craft, because if you really want to do it, you're gonna figure it out. But it sounds like they're just young and curious. Until they do get a certain age, probably don't, but just explain that, or just, get cheaper if they real interested, because some kids really do be interested in what craft or what you're doing, and they want to do it too because they see you doing it. Get cheaper stuff too, or tell a mom to get cheaper stuff so that you can teach them if you even do want to teach them. And if you don't, you just gotta take the slack and not teach them. You're entitled to do that as well. I feel like I don't know what I would do in this situation, because if I already say I'm not doing something, I'm not doing it. Don't ask me again. I'm not doing it, and you're not gonna make me feel bad about it. So if she's really, hell-bent on not wanting to do it, she just need to go about her day. Go about your day. Drink you some water and go about your day. Next time I might do like some more messy story times, because I just want to know what's tea. Like 2 rows. Not a lot, but I don't want to do too many rated stories. So if y'all like this video, let me know and I'll make another one. So y'all already know the drill. I love you. And we gotta give it what? Real bad. Kisses, kisses, kisses. And I do feel like nobody was the asshole just because I deemed them not being assholes. So that's okay. Y'all are good. Y'all are good in my graces. So, toodles.